Alright, so Feminist Horror is doing some videos on what she calls the cult of social constructionism. Um, I was kind of tickled when I saw that because as a sociology major, I was so heavily indoctrinated into that cult, and I totally agree. Like, I just laughed at myself. It was like, yeah, I definitely was exposed to that whole mindset when I was in college. Um, the funniest thing for me, I thought, was when you apply that to race. Yeah, they said that. I mean, I get that, you know, that race isn't as clean cut as we imagine it to be. That there's no single gene or set of genes that makes a person black or Asian or Latino or whatever. There's sort of a mixed bag of genes, and uh, what what different races and what we associate with different races are, certain repeating patterns that not all members of that race share, but there's enough of them that they have in common that it looks to us like race. Phenotypes actually show up as race, but if you suggest to those people that there is any biological component to race, which seems like the most obvious thing in the world, they will throw the white oppressor card at you so hard you'll be whimpering in the corner. At least that's what happened to me. Uh, I take accusations of racism rather seriously, but that's what are you gonna do? So what I always objected to most in social constructionism was the utter determinism of it. The idea that you can't help being such and such a way because society has made you that way. And we use this all the time, when we talk about, criminals, like if a man, goes on some murder spree, is society to blame? No. I mean, we ought to, as a society, improve the conditions of that society to prevent people from getting to that point, but people still have responsibility for their actions. And so, but that's also why, not just social constructionism, but I also think we got to caution against biological constructionism just as much. You brought up evolutionary psychology, which has some important insights, but I think a lot of people take that too far and basically try to put everything people do into a Darwinian context and just stuff it down until they make it fit I think obviously these things are very influential on who we are. Nature and nurture, they're definitely both important pieces. But I also believe in individual accountability. I think that we are, to a certain extent, accountable for who we are. And I think the more we try to make people into constructions, whether it's social constructions, biological constructions, whatever, the more we're opening up a world of excuses. And I think what's important to realize is that we it's a two-way street. Social construction is real, and so is biological construction. But we have power on society and on biology, going back the other way. And society, you see, we are obviously part of society. We can make choices that will influence others and help make things better. If you ever seen the movie Pay It Forward, that's a great example of that. And even with biology, I mean, people would think that is utterly deterministic, but there's this new science called epigenetics that's coming out, and we're learning about how thoughts and beliefs and behavior affect the genes, And there's this scientist named Bruce Lipton who's done some interesting work on that, and discuss how how you are not your genes, how you actually have control on how at a macroscopic level you have control over gene expression. So yeah, I think we're a lot more free than we give each other credit for. And frankly, determinism has never really kind of made sense to me. I mean, people think it's such it flows so obviously from physics, but they didn't realize that physics is based on an abstraction which leaves us out of it. So, but anyway, back to social constructionism. I think that one of the most laughable, if not heinous, manifestations of that was in the 1970s. There was some radical feminists who basically made the argument that, well, okay, patriarchy is so ubiquitous, it influences so much of what we do, that a woman doesn't really know what she wants, because it's being dictated to her by this patriarchal society from the time she's young and playing with Barbie dolls. And so, therefore, a woman can't really give consent, and therefore, all heterosexual sex is rape. So, I think taking this argument, we ought to reveal it to these anti-sex trafficking groups who talk about, let them know that 100% of sexually active heterosexual women are being raped, and let them sound the alarm about that. All right, peace.